Hello to the gamers. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't played a ton of this weekly. I've been playing Texas Chainsaw Massacre instead. Here's an interesting idea for you. I don't necessarily think this is an ideal play, but it's a very interesting way to. I mean, we're never gonna get the toy payoff. Maybe like a circular eggplant. And I've been enjoying Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even though I am. I mean, if you think I'm bad at this game, all I'm gonna say is it gets worse. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why do you keep stacking up on the one lad? I can't believe that he's going to be a level 3. But really, the reason I'm stacking up on the one lad is because my hunch this week, it's not a guarantee, it's a mere hunch. My hunch this week is that HP is more important. Then, like a bunch of 3-1s doesn't do anything for us, but an 8-6 might do something. So we have, I wouldn't describe it as a good team. Obviously, what I would say, as I just go into my settings here and remind myself that I was recently playing on 200% because I had a little time crunch on Twitch. I don't think we have the best team possible, but I do think we have kind of a funny team. And I think an 8-6 Gecko early might not be that bad, even if we get no payout out of it. Obviously, like, you know, this isn't the team I would pick for myself if I was able to pick a team for myself, but I'm not able to pick a team for myself. So I'm going to give you onigiri, also known as, listen, the picture is rice. The picture is onigiri. The name is rice. You got me? Actually, the name is Bond, James Bond. Because I'm going to sell this guy eventually. The actual only question here is whether I'm going to live long enough to be able to sell it. Because right now that looks a little sus. I'm actually, I mean, this run is off in no man's land. It's like, I want a penguin. Because it can buff a Doberman, and there's not many other, well, I guess we'd take lettuce for a Doberman buff as well, now that I think about it. The run is a little off the rails. Let's just leave it at that, okay? We're going to try to get where we need to go. We can sell off everything to get your Doberman popping, or possibly later we will decide that you sell off your Doberman instead. I think we'll buy lettuce. I think we'll buy a penguin because it could buff our Doberman, and indeed it did buff our Doberman. For the time being, I will purchase garlic simply because we can. And because it provides a benefit, if only temporarily. We should also acknowledge, just because we have a 7-6 Doberman, if the run starts popping with a level 3 Peacock or a strong Peacock either way, we don't have to just like ice the run. Holy cow! In order to try to do the Doberman pivot. Mind you, that being said. This is looking like a highly plausible Doberman-type run. We just have to live, which is not necessarily likely. It even buffed the Doberman. We get the moose giving a ton of HP to the Doberman, and then at some point getting the Doberman ability to actually trigger would go crazy. Go crazy for us. Thank you. Pardon me. I'm not saying we're in the clear, because it's not even close to true. But we might not be as screwed as it appears that we are. And I do want to stress the word might, because it might be as screwed as it looks like it is. Next round, we get the tier 5s. We get tier 6s on level up. The dream, of course, would be, oh, baby, if we could level up our Doberman and get a tier 6. And I mean, if you're gonna do the pivot, this is where you have to do the pivot. And it's not gonna be for a shark. The Doberman level is insanity. This is where it has to happen, man. So, if we're gonna do it, we have 3 sales. And this is a scary moment, without a doubt. I think of these units, we would like the Doberman ability to work. Yes. So, let's buy fly. Let's buy seal. I don't really want to give you 2 foods. I would rather take like a unit with some value. I guess it is going to be a shark. After everything we've been through, I guess it is going to be a shark. Well, the Doberman's not going to freeze because of the moose, which is unfortunate, so we might as well unfreeze it at this point. And look at the buffs, brother. Look at the buffs. Because the moose unfreezes the shop. Huge. Now, if the moose could level up, there's a chance we could start to think about possibly clawing our way out of this. I don't think our team is that good, but I think it's better than I would have thought that it would be at this point. Now, that's 2 big freezes. Why not at this point? With 6 left, I will simply get a buff, and they won't even let me do that. They won't even let me do that. That's sad. It's a sad story. Okay, I'll stop you right there then, because we're getting 5 buffs from the moose. A single one of those hitting the Doberman wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world, but it's important to get the shark off the ground too. Ouchie. Not that ouchie. Now, we're only at 6 wins, okay? But considering how the round started, or the rounds started, and also how they went after the start for a time period at least, you got to admit, I mean, I think that you didn't see me getting here. And that's fair, because I didn't see me getting here either. Nice Doberman buff. We don't have the strongest team that money can buy, but it's not as bad as you would think. It's not as bad as I would have thought even. And this is another dub. That takes us to 7. We're going to have a hard time, like what we don't want to run into, for sure. We definitely do not want to see... I don't think we need the Doberman to level. I think we got to prioritize roles first. I think we got to prioritize, like, if there's any distributed foods we could give to the seal, or even just, listen, melon on the shark makes a difference, I think, but more chocolate, the merrier. Chocolate on the moose to get a level 2 moose going might allow us to stay in here. But what we don't want to see is enemy teams that have a dragon. I think that's our number 1 nemesis right now. Everything else is actually kind of going okay. We got to 8. Now, round 1, buying a Doberman, mighty tempting, but I'm sticking to my guns here, okay? We dropped chocolate on a moose, although on a seal, maybe a seal makes more sense. That we have a moose to purchase. Now, the only thing that's going to disappoint me is if we have to choose between moose and chocolate. We don't. But melon could be good on a fly as well. But the fly's not going to get sniped before battle. I think if you're thinking semi-long term, Pippi long term, we got to think about the moose possibly getting to level 2 to get one over on very, very strong teams. Death touch, obviously, like, not ideal. And yet, the draw of the century, absence versus thin air. Okay, the moose levels, the fly levels. We roll. And just to be honest with you, the pita is good. But we gotta do a little overlap. We gotta get some stats out of this. The shark also kind of needs to level. I don't think we're scaling fast enough for a lot of the truly amazing teams that I've seen this week, but that takes us to 9. Holy! In this situation, equipment could be exactly what we need to get over the hump. Now, a melon on any of these units, I don't really see it. Although I guess a melon on a seal carries some benefits for us. We're rolling for tier 1s, please. Oh my! Don't mind if I do. Please, please. On round 15, I do feel a little underscaled still, but I could be wrong. That's okay. Our moose got sniped off the jump. That's not great. And yet, I think we made it. I think there's no shot we didn't make it. Okay, well, maybe I'm the greatest player of all time. That was an astute Doberman pivot, if I dare say so myself. Here's an interesting start for you that I think is canonically the right way to do it. I think we also want a 2-4. I think we'd rather have it this weekly. Call me crazy. But I feel like this weekly, in round 1 and 2, a 2-4 is worth equivalent or more than 2 1-3s. 7, 8, 9. Maybe like a determined piggy. Like the one that went to market. Not the one that cried wee 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 all the way home. Apologize to me. Actually, my 1-3s might have done that for me too, but okay. Take 2 of these bad boys to round out the squad. And can I tell you why I took a second beaver? If we get a shrimp, I'll be happy to have 2. And I love buy sell. It's just it's just like Magic the Gathering. The more you get to interact, the more fun a deck is. At least for me. That's a draw. Okay. And buy sell is the ultimate amount of interaction. Unfortunate. Fortunate. Okay. Honestly, I just think that Royal Flycatcher is like fun. I don't know if it's gonna have that much opportunity to pop unless our opponent got a sheep or something. But I just think Royal Flycatcher is a fun unit to have the opportunity to run. And I'll take my draw. No, thank you. No, thanks. I think you gotta look at a shrimp here. I think it's gotta be like sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, place, and then a peacock is just statistically, in terms of its attributes, is a good unit. Oh my god, the buying and the selling and the wall to the ramp to the wall to the ramp. I think the shrimp is that good. Holy cow, the Royal Flycatcher's going insane. It actually worked. Even one shrimp, I think, can... The HP does not take long to add up. Let me put it that way. I hate to do this. I'm sorry. I think the peacock is great, but I think I'm not selling a 3-5 with meat. I can't sell the Royal Flycatcher after what it just did for us. Like, we gotta be honest here. We gotta dance with the one that brought us a little bit. How about selling me? How about giving you a pineapple? And then this might seem a little crazy. What if we just threw a poison dart frog out here? It's a unit I've not really tried to work this week, but if it doesn't get sniped, which it will, then it would be pretty sick. That team was just really good, honestly. Now let me see. You're a 3, you're a 2, you're a 4, you're a 1. This is 2 buffs, which I think is actually kind of reasonable. We're not getting any buy sells, unfortunately. But maybe we should... At this time, having only a level 1.0 shrimp should probably start to acknowledge the fact that the shrimp is probably not the be-all, end-all. Now, their buy-sell build is going to go crazy, but hopefully I just never have to face them again. All right, I'm going to keep trying to make this work. Maybe that's overkill, but I think you both have to go. And then I think the problem that we have here, and I do this sometimes on the shrimp builds, is like, what are they buffing? Are they buffing units that have any merit? And the answer to that is no. But maybe by allowing us to get so many buffs, the units that are previously without merit that are being buffed will have merit as a result of their higher than normal level of HP. Not this round, though. That's for certain. I don't want to admit it, but yes, the Royal Flycatcher is falling off. Okay, hang on. This is stupid. Tomo, you can't be around the cords, my man. You got to come over here, okay? And I got to think. It's a very spicy play, and this is kind of like... You know what? This is our last stand as far as a pivot. If this pivot doesn't work, there won't be a next time. So please stop buffing the beaver. That's just a slap in the face, quite frankly. There we go. At least we got the payoff at the end. Stop. Thank you. Just, I'll take what I could get, man, but thank you. I appreciate that. And now we got to fill out our squad a little bit, okay? No, we don't. Because we can sell this. If you got 2 open spaces, even if you don't get buffs, the platypus pays for itself. Even if all of your buffs go to the beaver, unfortunately. So you got to be here. I was hoping we get another platypus, but it is what it is. Honestly, rather than buy you right now, this is probably the best thing we could do for ourselves, and that's unfortunate, but I think we might have overcooked the meal a little bit. It's been suggested that, yeah, I mean, like, we don't stand a chance on this one. But on the flip side, they're not running a cool build. They're just running good stuff. Sure, winning feels good, but at what cost? It has to be this. I'm sorry. It does. Yeah, this looks pretty horrible. She freaking sniped me? Can you spawn something? Why are these teams so afraid to spawn anything, man? Gen Z afraid to spawn a couple of units. Makes me sick. Can I get some sellables, man? That's a sellable. This is so sad. Alexa played Despacito. I can't believe we're going right back to the platypus well. All we need to do, if we live through this round, it's so plausible to get to 10 because all we need is an opponent that's running 20 flies on their team. I mean, you absolutely have to roll this for now. Why would you buff the unit you're going to sell, even if it does work best in position 1? These are non-spawners. I repeat, these are non-spawners. Okay, that was horrendous. But you know, it wasn't the buy-sell build. Don't let the buy-sell build get you down, okay? You know what went wrong on that one? This is horrible. You know as well as I do what went wrong on that one. Flycatcher might not be the way this week. Small birds. Flycatcher always feels horrible when it blows you out, because it's like, oh man, I have this cool team and all they had to do was build Flycatcher. But like, if you buy the Flycatcher, you're like, what the heck? My Flycatcher hasn't worked in 8 rounds. But when it works. Oh, baby, when it works. I'm stunned we won this with a level 2 Frilled Dragon with not a single faint trigger. But that's life, man. That's life. It's an interesting world out there sometimes. Happy to see my peacock get buffed a little bit. Do appreciate that. No faint triggers to be found. Not a faint trigger amongst them. I still think that you can make shrimp work even if you don't get it on, like, right away on turn 3. I think a shrimp is... it's an important unit this week. Now, they are going to defeat me. And it was an order-based difference. You got me. Sell me. Buy me. Buy me. Roll me. You could level, so I'm gonna sell you first. You just have no future. I'm sorry. There's just no future for you. You're gonna buy me, sell me, buy me. Nobody has benefited from this more than the beaver at this point, but it is what it is. You don't have to sell him immediately. You can still get the sell trigger off of him whenever. Okay, Hedgehog is just a very strong lad. And yet, one of the most satisfying draws of my life. I'm sorry to do this to you. I feel like we have to go Starfish. It looks like we're running the same team, but we're running it so much earlier than our last team that this is like... it has the potential, okay? Don't stop buffing the thing that gets spat out by the thing! This is the way. You come out because we're going to get a sick buff next turn. I think it only makes sense to use the rice on a unit that you're going to you know you're going to sell, but you don't know when you're going to sell it. It definitely doesn't make sense to pop it down on a unit that you're going to sell next turn. Unless it would save you a reroll. Or 2, maybe. I think we owe it to ourselves to try this. You know, you got to stay flexible. That's a huge buff. And then we have to sell you, combine you, buy a platypus. I'm telling you, as rough as this looks, and it might not seem sane to unwind your buy-sell engine to get more buffs on a unit, but an 11-14 with a peacock, 11-14 with garlic on a peacock is like insanely great for where we presently stand, okay? So just work with me. And I got no, the carrying cost of a clownfish is pretty reasonable in my opinion. This would be a great run to have a royal flycatcher, but it is what it is. And as Kesha said, we are who we are. That went about as well as I could have expected. So roll me situation. It's another, well, you know, no, that's not worth it. And this is a roll. Okay. Sell me. But we don't get a benefit out of that sell. You got to realize that now because we're shrimpless. Stop buffing the unit that gets spat out by the thing that we sell in the first place. Now that was, in my opinion, that is an obvious clownfish level. The stats are worth way more than having another 2-3 clownfish out there. We're going to be made to look like a fool. Or are we? Ugh. And you may wonder, NL, I thought you were a big fan of the monkey in this game. Well, I am. I am. This week, me personally, I would say I'm not monkey pilled. Because I feel like, that's fine. I feel like late game, a wide scaling squad is going to do way better. We love this for me. A wide scaling squad is going to do much better than like 150-50 and a bunch of scalers behind. Now, I think it's time for you to go. I think you had your chance and it's too late. 3, 5, 2, 3. Sell me. Buy me. So we're really looking for like a tier 4, right? I'm about to buy a monkey. But then only the... I think that's fine. I think... Ignore everything I just said about this unit not being that good this week, okay? Now, the monkey is just a placeholder until we get a better tier 6, but I don't know what that tier 6 is going to be. It turns out you can still roll one 50-50 unit and a bunch of scalers as long as your opponent is too. Oh, that's big. That's big, brother. This one's tough for me because Snake goes crazy this week. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking you run this. I may regret it. I may work my position around a bit. This 21 is not a ton of HP to have on your frontline unit. But they're running a crane at the front. So, like, you know, it's a strange world out there. It totally worked. I like it. There is something to be said now, in my opinion, about giving you the popcorn and running this. Might be a bit of a bold take for the average person to see Peacock that is the team captain in position 3, but it is what it is. We're trying to maximize our snake plays like we just got handed our aunt's Nokia smartphone. It wasn't a smartphone back then. Now that I think about it, it was a pretty dumb phone. But we liked it because it was all we knew. Chocolate? You don't blow up the whole team after a single loss, okay? Could talk about moving you up, but I think this is the kind of team, me personally, I feel comfortable staying the course, all right? It would be nice if the grizzly bear were dead. Oh, my melons. Oh, we got so close, too. See, and we got good wide scaling. I don't feel bad about this. We got a long enough game remaining that I feel like you could do worse than a carrot. How about a pita on you? Oh, but you're probably not going to live. Pita on you might go insane, though. The garlic is a little antiquated at this point in time. We're asking a lot of our poodle, don't get me wrong. Spooky. Holy cow, it's still 1 for 1. They did get a beautiful snipe out of it, but I think the sheep might have saved our entire game, quite frankly. Holy. Some chocolate. Or a match. That's a match. Still, it's hard to argue with like that. I know a pineapple might go crazy too, but... Just hold, stay the course for now. It's a little late to be doing any wild sorts of pivot unless you try to, you know, out of desperation fit in like a walrus or something like that. Oh, baby, that's 9. Please. Please. Nothing? Oh, something. Something. You might as well give me this for now. You don't get validated for staying the course that often in video games. Staying the course is a hard position to take because of, you know, the human bias towards loss aversion. But it's feeling okay, it's feeling bad, it's feeling horrible. Okay, never mind. We're about to get Daniel Kahneman, but please, chocolate. Even though it's a small upgrade to our buffs, we owe it to ourselves to try. Chocolate me. Second snake. It's all we can do, man. It's all we can do. I hate to see a level 2 dragon team at this stage of my life. Oh no. It's horrible. They destroyed me. Either way, I think it was a good clawback, but hey, what was it, like 10, 5, 9, something like that? I can live with that. Working 9, 10, 5. What a way to make a living. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. I'll see you next time. See ya!